समं सर्वेषु भूतेषु तिष्ठन्तं परमेश्वरं विनश्यत्स्व विनश्यन्तं यः पश्यति स पश्यति. He sees, who sees the Supreme Lord existing equally in all beings, the unperishing within the perishing. This concept has been elaborately explained in the 10th and 11th chapters of the Bhagavad Gita, which we have already done. How to see the substratum which holds this superimposition of the plurality of the world. How to see that? See, it is a very tough thing to do. When the waker is awake, he realizes that he was dreaming, right? But while dreaming, is it not very difficult for the dreamer to be an onlooker? He gets carried away in the dream because he becomes the dreamer. How can he remain a upadrashta, the onlooker? No, he cannot be. He is very much into it. But the moment he wakes up and he, by God's grace, he remembers what he was just watching in the dream, he becomes an onlooker. Oh, what a funny thing I was seeing in a dream. I was this kind of a dreamer. In that I was not the dreamer, I was whatever I am. But he forgets that in this waking state again he is committing the same mistake, because this again, in view of the scriptures, is a dream. Again, I have taken this as reality, but that doesn't make this a reality. So again, I'll have to awaken myself further. Then only I'll realize, oh my God, what I was hanging on to all these lives. I thought that this is real. So, that realized soul realizes that the substratum is untainted, has nothing to do with this plurality, is the same everywhere. And how do I discriminate between the moving and unmoving, living and non-living? Nothing. In the dream, the living beings are also your own mind, and the inert matter is also your own mind. It's not that there are two sections of mind. One becomes the living beings and another becomes the non-living, moving, non-moving things in the dream. So your mind makes some objects in motion and some not moving. That's a kind of, and in the waking state we get confused about it, because we forget about the substratum. Now the dreamer cannot be explained about this, no. So we have to, first of all, while reading the scriptures, we have to awaken to that extent of understanding, at least, if not experiencing, at least understanding. So the waker tried to explain his dream to his friend, where his friend said, look here, it was just a dream, forget about it, don't pay heed to this dream and get going. Now you have these things to do in life. So the wise friend will give good advice, and this friend also will agree and accept and get going. Okay, forget about it, it was just a dream. At least he heard correctly, he heard sincerely. To that extent, the Sadgurus are our best friends. They say, look here, you enjoy the world because it's not yet time, you are not yet prepared to reject it as false, but believe in the words of the scriptures. Take them as ultimate truth that this world is false. If you consider the Sadgurus as your closest friends, the scriptures to be your friends, they are awakening us to that extent. At least that can be done. Okay, if that kind of faith gets established, if you get established in that kind of faith, it will work for you. Your mind will automatically not pay much heed to these things. Good or bad, both equally false, right? The substratum has nothing to do with either good or bad. Why pay so much of attention to it? Now, there is a big pitfall over there. The moment you become indifferent to both, there is a scope of your falling towards bad again. You say it doesn't matter, good or bad. So, how does it matter? Yeah, it matters. Why? Because here it is told in the shloka, in the earlier shloka, Yavat sanjayate kinchit sattvam sthavara jangamam. It is always told whatever is born out of the sattvic aspect. Whatever little sattva is there, that gives birth to the beings and things. To that extent only there is sattva. Why? Because after all, it is a matter of existence. It exists. Can you eliminate that thought that it exists? No, it exists. This existence belongs to sattva. And that sattva definitely is required more and more to get on to complete sattva. So, therefore, to be good is essential on this path. You just can't do without being completely pure and good, virtuous, because that alone is your actual existence. So, therefore, you cannot be indifferent to your being virtuous and good, but definitely you can detach yourself from the ideas and norms and thoughts and conditionings of likes and dislikes and good and bad all the time. That will bring peace within, and that will prepare you for higher pursuits of spirituality. Pay attention to that which is the substratum. Ishwaram. That is that Ishwara. That is Parameshwara. Which remains unperishing within the perishing. What gets destroyed is the false. The real never perishes. Can I have this kind of unswerving faith in the reality? Let everything get destroyed, but that will not get destroyed, which is the Supreme. So can you be then worried about destruction of any kind? Not really. Whatever has to perish is not real. So why be so worried about it? Let it perish. And what is real can never get perished. So this thought has to be given to yourself every morning. This is Satya, this is Nitya, this is, what is that? Avikari, Avinashi, both modificationless and deathless, destructionless, Shashwata. Earlier we have done so many such exercises where we have known that how it remains imperishable. All these modifications that we see in objects also, at some point of time they do exist anyway in some shape or the other. We don't like it or we like the other shape better, that's different. But anyway, it is. Since it is, therefore there is a modification possible. So that isness belongs to the Supreme.